Ariel Dawson stared at the doorway as if willing her husband to walk through it. The teacups were still warm, and the almond cookies she baked sat untouched on the plate. It was exactly 7 p.m., the time Marcus Dawson arrived home every day without fail. But tonight, the house remained still. No footsteps, no key turning, no familiar hum of his voice. A quiet unease settled into her bones, the kind that told her something had already changed, even if she didn't understand how. Their marriage had seemed steady, predictable, even enviable. Marcus was the calm force in every room, always composed, always reliable. She thought she knew him better than anyone. But as she waited in the silence, a strange thought flickered through her mind. Maybe she never truly knew him at all. The next morning, a doctor called to tell her Marcus had died of a massive heart attack. His tone was gentle, practiced, distant. "He went quickly," he said, as if that softened anything. Ariel nodded, gripping the counter to stay upright. The funeral days later felt like walking through fog. Strangers hugged her and whispered how wonderful Marcus had been. She barely heard them. Her best friend, Claire Simmons, stayed at her side, handing her water she never drank. Then her sister, Kendra Taylor, arrived, wrapped in expensive perfume and false sympathy. Her hug felt too long, too staged. "Marcus was like a brother to me," she said smoothly. Ariel tried to believe her, but something in Kendra's eyes didn't match her tone. It wasn't grief. It was something sharper. Later that evening, Ariel found Kendra in her kitchen pouring herself a drink like she owned the place. "Look," Kendra said lightly, "I know it's not the best time, but Marcus loaned me some money. I wanted to settle it now that you're taken care of." Ariel stared at her. "What money?" she asked. Kendra blinked, then smiled like Ariel was the one being strange. "Oh, he didn't tell you." Ariel felt a cold twist in her stomach. That night she wandered the house, unable to sleep. She touched the furniture, the photo frames, anything that might give her answers. Then she noticed Marcus's keys on the hallway table, and the one key he always told her not to use. The garage key. The one he never explained. By morning, curiosity and grief pushed Ariel to drive to the industrial district where Marcus kept his garage. The building was old, surrounded by cracked pavement and rusted metal. Hardly the place for anything important. Yet Marcus had come here every Thursday for years. She unlocked the heavy door, bracing herself for tools and machinery. Instead, she froze. It wasn't a garage. It was a hidden room filled with photographs, maps, charts, and documents pinned neatly across the walls. Dozens of photos showed Marcus, but not the Marcus she knew. He wore jeans, messy hair, and relaxed smiles. And always beside him was a younger woman with dark hair. In some photos, a young man stood with them, smiling as if part of a family she never knew existed. Ariel stepped closer, trembling. The younger woman appeared again and again, always near Marcus, always smiling at him. On the back of one photo was handwriting she recognized, Naomi and Jordan. August 2024. Her knees buckled. She remembered that exact day. She had cooked Marcus's favorite dinner, waiting for him to return from a client meeting. Instead, he had been with these two people. Files on the desk showed bank transfers, shell companies, and medical reports she had never seen. One record revealed Marcus had known he was dying months before. He hadn't told her. He had spent his last days building a life she never touched. She staggered back in shock, only to hear footsteps behind her. When she turned, the young man from the photos stood in the doorway. "Ariel Dawson?" he asked softly. "My name is Jordan Price. Marcus Dawson was my father." Ariel could barely breathe as she stared at the young man. His resemblance to Marcus was unmistakable, the same eyes, the same solemn expression. Jordan stepped inside slowly. "I didn't want you to find out like this," he said. Ariel whispered, "You're really his son?" Jordan nodded. "My whole life. He kept us separate. My mother, Naomi, respected that." Ariel sank into the chair by the metal desk. "Why are you here?" Jordan hesitated, then handed her a folded document. "This is a draft of a will," he said. "He gave it to me 2 weeks before he died. He said the official one would go to you, but this copy was for emergencies." Ariel unfolded it with trembling hands. Marcus's handwriting divided assets, named Jordan, and referenced a company she'd never heard of, Mercury South Holdings. As Ariel read, one line froze her breath. Access to remaining documents secured in office vault. Code linked to personal item gifted to A. She whispered, "Personal item?" Jordan answered, "The last necklace he gave you." Ariel touched her collarbone instinctively. Why would he hide anything like this? Jordan sighed. Because he knew he was dying. And because he didn't trust the people he worked with. Ariel lifted her eyes. What people? Jordan's face tightened. He never told me names, only that if anything happened to him, someone would come looking. People he didn't want near you. Ariel stood, shaken. We need to go home. I need that necklace. Jordan nodded. I'll go with you, if you'll let me. She hesitated, then agreed. Whether she wanted it or not, Marcus had tied their lives together. But Ariel didn't go home right away. She drove to Claire's house instead. Her best friend opened the door without questions. Ariel sat on the couch, clutching the sapphire necklace as if it were alive. When she finally told Claire everything, Jordan, the photos, the files, Claire didn't interrupt. She simply whispered, "I'm so sorry," and squeezed her hand. But Ariel wasn't ready to cry. She was still trying to understand how a perfect marriage could hide so many locked rooms. When she finally left Claire's house, anger pushed her forward. Anger and suspicion. She drove straight to her sister Kendra's condo. Kendra answered barefoot, holding a glass of wine, wearing silk pajamas as if she'd been celebrating something. Her eyes widened in surprise. "Ariel, is everything okay?" Ariel brushed past her into the living room. Her gaze fell instantly on a framed photograph on the shelf. Kendra and Marcus, laughing, clinking champagne glasses. The date stamp was 5 years old. "What is this?" Ariel demanded. Kendra walked over casually. "Oh, that. A holiday party. You didn't come, remember?" Ariel's voice sharpened. "How well did you and Marcus get along?" Kendra raised an eyebrow. "What are you implying?" Ariel stepped closer. "I know about Naomi. I know about Jordan. I know about the garage and the fake company. I know Marcus hid almost everything from me. So if there's more, tell me now." Kendra swallowed slowly, set her wine down, and said in a soft voice, "Fine. You want the truth." She placed a hand on her stomach. "I'm pregnant, Ariel. And the baby is Marcus's." Ariel went still. The room blurred around her. Kendra continued calmly, 10 weeks. He knew. He said he'd take care of everything." Ariel whispered, "You were sleeping with my husband?" Kendra didn't flinch. "Don't pretend to be shocked. You had your perfect life. I had nothing." Marcus offered support. He listened. "You were his routine. I was his escape." The slap Ariel delivered came before she even realized she'd moved. Kendra's wine glass shattered on the floor. She didn't cry, she smirked. "There she is, the real Ariel." Ariel shook, breath uneven. "You didn't just betray me. You stole my life." Kendra stepped closer. "Say what you want, but this baby is your blood too." Ariel whispered, "I need to leave." And she did, before she broke even more. Ariel returned to Claire's house in silence. She didn't explain where she'd been. Claire didn't ask. She simply guided her inside and murmured, "You need rest." But Ariel couldn't sleep. Every memory of Marcus felt contaminated, rewritten. The next morning, Jordan arrived to pick her up, and Claire insisted on joining them. "You're not opening any vault without backup," she said firmly. Marcus's office was in a downtown high-rise. Ariel had never been there. The receptionist barely looked up as Jordan used a keycard. "He always kept his worlds separate," Jordan murmured. They entered a cold, modern office with no photos, no personal touches, nothing of Ariel anywhere. Jordan pointed at a large abstract painting. "The safe's behind that." Ariel pulled out the sapphire necklace and twisted the clasp. A tiny hidden compartment opened, revealing a metal plate engraved with numbers. Jordan slid it into the safe's keypad. A soft click sounded before the door opened. Inside were documents, a flash drive, a silver key, and a small wooden box. Jordan handed her the documents, contracts, transfers, and international bank records. Ariel opened the wooden box. Inside was a ring she'd never seen. A delicate gold band with a small diamond. Engraved inside were the initials N, always. Ariel whispered, "Naomi." Her heart clenched. Jordan looked away. Ariel lifted the letter addressed to her. She unfolded it slowly. Marcus's handwriting spilled across the page. He confessed everything. 2 lives, 2 worlds, 2 women he couldn't give up. Marcus had written, "I was weak. I built 2 lives because I didn't know how to choose. I loved you, Ariel, in the only way I understood. I wanted you safe. I wanted Jordan safe. If you're reading this, it means I failed to fix the mess before time ran out." Ariel's hands shook. Claire read it next, then Jordan. None of them spoke. The weight of Marcus's secrets pressed into the room like fog. When they left the office, Ariel felt hollow. She wasn't sure who she had married. Not really. They drove back to Claire's house, where Ariel tried to rest. But that night, her phone rang. The caller ID said unknown. "Ariel Dawson," a deep voice said. "This is Gordon Blake. I worked with your husband, and I believe you have something of mine." Ariel felt fear crawl up her spine. "I don't know what you're talking about," she said. Gordon replied calmly, "Yes, you do, the documents from the safe. Some of them concern accounts I set up with Marcus. I suggest we meet." Ariel refused. Gordon's tone hardened. "The others Marcus worked with, they're not as polite. They won't ask." He hung up. The next morning, she told Jordan. His jaw tightened. "He called me too. And someone else." Jordan handed her a note. "Victor Crane." Jordan said, "He claims he's the source of the money Marcus moved. He wants everything returned or there will be consequences." Ariel closed her eyes. "This keeps getting darker." Jordan nodded. "We need answers. The deposit box is next." They drove straight to Federal Trust Bank. Claire waited in the car. The vault manager examined the silver key and Ariel's ID. "This box hasn't been accessed in years," he said. He led them into the cold basement, then left them alone. Ariel unlocked the box. Inside was a manila folder and a disturbing photograph. Marcus, Jordan, Gordon Blake, and Victor Crane standing together, arms crossed, smiling in front of a black SUV. Ariel whispered, "This wasn't just business." Jordan opened the folder. It contained shell company registrations, payoffs, and one document labeled Crane Blackmail Insurance in red ink. Ariel realized Marcus had kept proof of everything. "He didn't just leave me chaos," she murmured. "He left me a weapon." They didn't go home. They drove to Marcus's old lawyer, Marcus Doyle, a man known for discretion. Ariel explained the documents, not the infidelity, but the criminal pieces. Doyle listened without blinking. "Do you want to press charges?" he asked. Ariel shook her head. "No. I want protection." Doyle nodded. "Then we make copies, digital, physical, encrypted." They scanned everything, creating 3 full backups. Claire volunteered to hold the 3rd set. When they finished, Doyle drafted a simple letter, and Ariel added one line, "Try me. A.D." They sent it to Gordon Blake. He called within 15 minutes, furious. "You think you can threaten me?" Ariel answered, "You touch me or anyone I care about, and the IRS gets everything. After that, Interpol." The silence on his end was telling. 2 hours later, Victor Crane called. His voice was smoother, controlled, practiced. "Ariel," he said, "I believe we've started on the wrong foot." Ariel replied, "There is no wrong foot. There is only your name on illegal transfers." Crane laughed softly. "All hypothetical, of course." Ariel let the quiet stretch. "I lost everything already. That makes me dangerous. You should be worried." Crane's tone shifted. "What do you want?" Ariel said, "Distance. No calls. No threats." After ending the call, she turned to Jordan. He looked haunted. "I didn't know my father was capable of all this," he said. "My mother told me he was complicated, but I thought she meant emotionally, not criminally." Ariel whispered, "He was both." That night, Ariel sat on Claire's porch with Jordan. The flash drive rested in her hand. "There's still this," she muttered. Jordan nodded. "We should open it." Ariel hesitated. "Everything else hurt. This might hurt too," Jordan said quietly, "but it's the last truth he left." 2 days passed before Ariel felt strong enough. Claire sat beside her. Jordan waited silently. Ariel plugged in the flash drive. One folder appeared, for Ariel. Inside was a single video dated 10 days before Marcus's death. Ariel clicked it. Marcus appeared on screen, tired, unshaven, hollow-eyed. His voice trembled as he spoke. "Ariel, if you're watching this, I didn't make it." Marcus exhaled shakily. "You were never the one I needed to lie to. You were the one I needed to protect. But I waited too long." He rubbed his face, then said, "There's someone you trust who you shouldn't. Someone dangerous." Ariel felt her breath shorten. Marcus looked straight into the camera. "It's Kendra." Ariel froze. Marcus continued, "She wasn't just a mistake. She planned everything. When I told her I wanted to end things, she threatened to expose the accounts. And Ariel, I believe she killed Naomi." Jordan's body stiffened. Marcus said, "I can't prove it. But the timing was too perfect. Naomi found out I was ending things. She packed her bags to leave for Lisbon. The next day, her brakes failed." Ariel stared at the screen, unable to blink. Marcus added, "Kendra knew she was pregnant. Naomi didn't. That's why everything changed." He swallowed hard. "I tried to fix this before it reached you. I moved money, made backups, wrote instructions. I'm sorry it took this much damage for me to finally protect you." The screen cut to black. Ariel sat motionless for a long time. Jordan whispered, "My mother, she didn't know." Ariel shook her head slowly. "Kendra did this. She's been manipulating us both." Claire placed a hand on Ariel's shoulder. "What are you going to do?" Ariel whispered, "I need to face her." Ariel invited Kendra to brunch that weekend. Kendra arrived smiling, wearing a soft blue dress that highlighted her growing belly. She hugged Ariel warmly. "I'm glad you reached out," she said. "I was worried you were angry." Ariel smiled back, though her eyes were cold. "No, I'm not angry," she said. "I just thought we should talk like sisters." They sat on Claire's porch with glasses of sweet tea. Kendra crossed her legs and said, "Marcus loved us both in different ways. Maybe we can find peace with that." Ariel replied calmly, "That's not why I asked you here." She placed the flash drive on the table between them. Kendra's eyes flickered. "What's that?" Ariel said, "Everything." Kendra kept her expression still, but Ariel saw a panic flash beneath the surface. "I know about the blackmail," Ariel said quietly. "About Naomi. About the threats. About the accounts." Kendra leaned back, arms crossed. "You can't prove anything." Ariel smiled thinly. "I don't have to." She stood. "I'm not going to court. I'm not fighting you. I'm done with all of it." Kendra frowned. "What does that mean?" Ariel looked her in the eye. "I'm walking away. From the house. From the money. From everything Marcus left behind. You can have what you think you won. But you'll never have peace." She turned to leave. Kendra's voice cracked. "Ariel, wait." But Ariel didn't stop. Inside, Jordan was waiting. His face was pale. "Did she admit anything?" Ariel shook her head. "She doesn't need to. I know the truth." That afternoon, Ariel met with Doyle again. She handed him the flash drive and signed an affidavit detailing everything she discovered. Doyle looked troubled. "You're sure?" Ariel nodded. "If anything happens to me, release it to the press." "All of it." Doyle agreed. Leaving the office, Ariel felt a strange calm. She went home for the first time since Marcus died. The rooms felt foreign, like they belonged to someone else. She packed a single suitcase, took one last look at the life she'd built, and closed the door behind her. She wasn't coming back. Ariel spent the next week settling her affairs. Jordan helped where he could, offering updates about his own future. "I'm thinking of starting fresh," he said. "A new city. Maybe study something my mother always wanted me to." Ariel smiled softly. She would like that. They kept their distance from Kendra, though once Ariel passed her on the street. Kendra's belly had grown noticeably. Her eyes were haunted. She didn't say a word. Ariel didn't either. The past would not be reopened. One evening, Jordan came to say goodbye. "I'm heading west," he said. "Thank you for not blaming me." Ariel hugged him. "You're not the one who destroyed anything." He nodded and left quietly. With Jordan gone and Kendra silent, Ariel felt strangely unanchored. She found a small cottage for rent in Colorado, a place with mountains, cold air, and no memories of Marcus. Claire helped her pack the last box. "Are you sure about this?" Claire asked. Ariel nodded. "I'm finally done living inside Marcus's secrets." Claire hugged her tightly. "Then go. And build something of your own." That night, Ariel boarded a flight with only 2 bags and the sapphire necklace tucked deep inside one of them. She didn't look back as the plane lifted off. The city below shrank into a scatter of lights, bright, distant, and no longer hers. Ariel closed her eyes. For the first time in months, her chest didn't feel tight. The Colorado cottage was small but peaceful. Ariel spent the first morning opening windows, letting sunlight pour into empty rooms. She unpacked slowly, careful with each object, deciding what belonged in this new life and what didn't. The necklace stayed sealed away. The flash drive never returned. She bought a cheap phone with a new number. No one from Charleston contacted her, except Claire, who texted photos of her cat and messages like, "How's the altitude treating you?" Ariel answered each one. But mostly, she enjoyed the quiet. She walked trails near the mountains, sat in cafes, and let her mind settle. Some nights she dreamed of Marcus. But the dreams grew softer with time. By the 3rd week, Ariel had learned the rhythm of the town. She made small talk with the barista who always remembered her order. She started volunteering at a local shelter. People asked where she came from. She simply said, "The East Coast," and left the rest unspoken. One evening, Claire called. "Just checking you're still alive," Claire joked. Ariel laughed. "Still alive. Still adjusting." Claire hesitated. "Has Kendra contacted you?" Ariel's smile faded. "No, good," Claire replied. "Let her live with what she did." Ariel looked out the window at the snowy street. "I'm not sure she ever will." After the call, Ariel sat on the porch listening to the quiet wind. This was her life now, simple, steady, free of Marcus's shadows. But the past wasn't finished with her yet. One afternoon, a letter arrived, no return address. Ariel hesitated before opening it. Inside was a single sheet of paper. "Ariel, I'm leaving the city. The baby will be born soon. I'm sorry for everything. Kendra." Ariel read it twice. The handwriting looked shaky. She felt neither anger nor forgiveness, just a strange calm. She folded the letter and placed it in a drawer. Later, she told Claire. "Do you think she's sincere?" Claire asked. Ariel shrugged. "I think she's scared." And perhaps that was the closest Kendra would ever come to remorse. Ariel didn't respond to the letter. The silence between them felt safer that way. Ariel continued building her new life. She joined a hiking group, learned the names of local plants, and started journaling again, something she hadn't done since college. She wrote about quiet mornings, mountain peaks, and the feeling of finally breathing without weight on her chest. Occasionally, she revisited memories of Marcus, not the lies, but the small truths. His laugh when he spilled coffee, the way he folded his shirts, the rare moments of real tenderness. But she didn't let those memories anchor her. They drifted in and out like passing clouds. One evening she whispered to herself, "You weren't just a victim. You survived him." And the words felt true. Winter deepened, and Ariel found comfort in routine. She took a part-time job at a bookstore where she spent afternoons shelving novels and recommending mysteries to tourists. Her co-workers were kind and asked few questions. After closing, she often walked home through the snow, wrapped in a warm scarf. Each night, she sat by the fireplace with tea, savoring the quiet. One night she received a voicemail from Jordan. "I'm okay," he said. "Settled in Oregon. Studying environmental science. Thank you for giving me space to start over." Ariel smiled softly. She called back the next day. "Your mother would be proud," she told him. "So would the part of Marcus who tried to do right." Spring returned slowly. One morning, Ariel found herself lingering by the window, watching birds gather on the porch railing. She realized she no longer felt haunted by Marcus's choices. The secrets, the betrayals, the violence, they had shaped her, but they no longer defined her. That afternoon, she opened the drawer where she kept the sapphire necklace. She held it in her palm, studying its surface. It had once held a code, a secret, a key to a life she didn't know existed. Now it was just jewelry. She placed it in a donation box. Some things, she decided, were not meant to be carried forever. Ariel received one last letter from Charleston, a legal notice from Doyle. It confirmed that Marcus's estate had been fully settled. Jordan's share was secured. Kendra's baby, once born, would receive the trust Marcus intended. No criminal charges were filed. No further threats came from Gordon Blake or Victor Crane. Just silence. Exactly what Marcus had hoped for, even if he failed to achieve it himself. Ariel signed the final documents and mailed them back. When she returned from the post office, she sat on a bench outside and let the sun warm her face. Her old life was now officially closed. A few days later, Claire visited. She stepped off the bus with a wide grin. "You look healthier," she said, hugging Ariel tightly. Over dinner, Claire said, "You know, you never told me how you kept going through all of it." Ariel thought for a long moment. "Because stopping meant letting Marcus's lies be the last thing that defined me." Claire nodded thoughtfully. "You were braver than you think." Ariel shook her head. "I wasn't brave. I was desperate. And sometimes desperation looks like courage." They spent the evening laughing, talking about nothing important. It was the kind of night Ariel wished she had allowed herself years ago. After Claire left, Ariel walked the trail behind her cottage. The sky was streaked with pink and gold. She thought about the people Marcus left behind: Jordan, Kendra, the unborn child. They would all carry parts of him, just as she did. But she no longer felt bitterness. Only distance. Only clarity. She whispered into the breeze, "Goodbye, Marcus." Not because she forgave him, but because she no longer needed to hold on to him. The wind carried her words away, soft and final. Ariel returned to her cottage and opened all the windows. The fresh mountain air filled every room. She boiled water for tea, but this time she didn't set 2 cups on the table. Only one. She sat down, wrapped her hands around the warm mug, and looked out at her new world. A world without secrets. Without fear. Without Marcus Dawson's shadow hanging over her. She wasn't the woman he had lied to or hidden things from. She was a woman who had rebuilt her life with her own hands, steadily, quietly, and on her own terms. And for the first time, she felt complete. In Colorado, Ariel Dawson found something she hadn't felt in years: peace. She had survived betrayal, danger, and the shattering of every truth she believed in. But she had also uncovered her own strength, quiet, steady, unbreakable. The past no longer owned her. The future no longer frightened her. She walked forward not as the widow of Marcus Dawson, not as the sister of Kendra Taylor, but simply as herself. And that was enough.